Three, two, one. What's up, guys? It's the Board Game Roamer, and I am back with the Tiny Epic Defenders second edition with the Dark War expansion playthrough. So in the last video, we kind of did setup, kind of showed you where everything was at, showed you our characters, and so in this video, we're just gonna jump right into it on the turn. I think probably what I'm going to do is do maybe three rounds or so. I can't not get seated right. 3 rounds or so, as far as pulling the cards in the turn deck, which will be about half, but that'll get it in nice chunks. I would also point you to Doug Herring, Doug Mystic Eye, Doug Herring on YouTube, Doug Mystic Eye on Board Game Geek, I believe. Awesome channel. Definitely check him out. Go support him. He is doing a playthrough of this also right now. And so what I thought would be cool, I do support Doug. And what I thought would be cool is if I did a playthrough along with him, but I used a different set of heroes and different skills and such, just to show you how different it can be. And in his playthrough, he does have the Harpier that happened to come out. And he does actually have, at least at the time of this recording, one of his heroes does have the dual wield skill, but I believe all the other heroes are different, all the other skills are different, and the locations, I believe in his playthrough, he's got the mountains as the hostile location currently on his first round, whereas I've got the plains. So, yeah. So that's what's going on. Couple things to remember the deck, the turn deck on the first round has 3 sets of monsters that are going to be monster attacks. We know that. Also, something that I missed, and actually I was watching his video last night, and he said it, and I was like, oh, what? In the previous Tiny Epic Defenders, if a region was destroyed, okay, then you would take a card from the box that's off to the side over here, and you would put it on top of that, but that monster card would stay in the deck, and it would continue to cycle through as part of your turn deck. That is actually no longer the case, which is super, super exciting because that's one less monster to deal with. So that is different. Also, and I don't know, after I looked this up on Board Game Geek last time, I talked about the entomb ability of this location of the ruins, and I was like, holy cow, it made so much sense. I don't know why I couldn't get it originally. But what this does is it allows you to take a card from the turn deck that you discarded, put it in here, and basically the next round, at the beginning of the next round, you put it in the discard. So essentially, it's a card that you do not have to deal with. So if there's something we don't want to deal with, or even just in general to get one less card, the ruins is a way to do that. Okay, so that is pretty exciting. Also, one of the things that I kind of, in watching his video for a second, I got confused about was the train. So you can go to the capital city and you can train and potentially change out your skill card. But the training is just for the skill. It's not for the leveling up. So if I'm in the coast, for example, and I hit 8 XP, I can do that. I don't have to, as far as I can tell, I do not have to be in the city to do that. Okay, so that's exciting. All right, I think that's all the housekeeping things I had for just a quick hot minute, and let's get started with our turn number 1. Our turn number 1 is going to be the forests and the plains, and it is important to do these in order because these heroes that have skills, some of these skills are passive, some of these are active. Some skills are only on your turn, but others are not. So it is important to do these in order, because if another defender's skill needs to proc, then the order that you do that may make a difference in terms of the XP that they have to spend uh, for the second location that's attacked. If they wanted to do, for example, the same action, and that action costs, they only have 3 XP, it costs 2 XP to do. The order that you do that in is important because if they defended the first, they could not defend the second, or vice versa. Okay, so what do we got? We got the mountains. Nobody's in the mountains, of course. And the plains. Nobody. Oh, this is not good. We do not want the plains. All right. So wow, we have the mountains. Excuse me, the desert. I'm doing it myself. The desert and the mountains. So clearly the mountains are going to be hammered. This is not good. And then finally, the forest and the coast. The forest, boom, and the coast, boom. So we have nothing in the ruins, so we know that unless one gets added. We have 2 in the mountains and 1 in each of the other locations. Now it kind of stinks just because it's kind of nice if you can have maybe a couple locations, 2 or 3 locations maybe that get hammered. Maybe well 2 locations ideally, because then you can just where you need to defend, and then you can have like one other hero or maybe a couple kind of run around and do a little bit of cleanup when they need to, but primarily focus on keeping people healed in the couple major locations. In this case, we kind of have everything being hit. Now, obviously, the mountain is pretty heavily damaged already. The forest, the coast, and the desert, not too bad, but I'm probably more worried about the plains because of the soldier cards and the negative cards that could potentially give us if we don't defend it. Because you'll notice that unlike the other regions, these hostile regions only have 2. So they actually become more important to defend, which I guess makes sense thematically because they are more hostile than just your normal region. All right, cool. So let's see what we got here. We have yellow. That is our Pigfolk Gladiator. Well, let's see here. Let's move him. He needs to go. We're going to go 1, 2, and he will spend his third to get XP. Alright, that's yellow. Then we have red. Remember, red is Adelphius the Limekin Charioteer. Oh, you know what? Well, yeah, well, too late. I should have probably, because remember, Adelphius, one of his things is he gets an extra action if he starts his turn in the plane. So really, he should be the one that's over here, because he could level up a whole lot quicker. Well, that was a tactical error. So let's do this. Let's go 1, 2, 3, and we'll kind of look at getting him back down to the plains soon. All right, and then we have next is blue. Blue is our necromancer. So, wait, let's see. At the end of the round, I'm reading the desert's ability. Bury. While in the desert, lose 2 health. Okay, so that kind of sucks. To place the top 2 cards from the turn deck without revealing them on this card's slot once per round. At the end of the round, return and shuffle the buried cards back into the next round. Okay, so that's not a way to not deal with them this round. Here's the only problem. Potentially, you could get one of your own hero's cards. So that's kind of a scary thing there. But it is what it is, right? All right, so let's. I think I'm actually going to move him 1, 2 to the coast, and the third drop that threat, just because this dispatch move any defender to any region is absolutely powerful, because we can get people, at least on his turn, pre-positioned where we either know the attack is coming or in a location that's highly threatened, so that we can either defend if it's very close to the top, or get them over there in time before they get pulled in their turn order to drop it down when it gets to their turn. And then finally, of course, it's the last defender card, which is green. This is our Spellweaver, and the Spellweaver, I think, is going to go 1, 2, and 3. All right, so that's our first turn. All right, that's the first turn of the turn deck. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all these cards. We're going to draw the top card off of the General's Horde deck. Now, this could be a dire enemy. This could be just a regular another monster. Well, we don't know. So I'm going to give it a quick shuffle, and I'm going to try to get these. I'm going to try to get this as shuffled as I can, because what you don't want in playthroughs, and it's kind of hard with this handful of cards, to be honest with you. I don't want to have a whole bunch of. Let me give it a good shuffle. Well, I guess we'll just keep shuffling since I kind of saw that card. All right, because we don't. What I don't want to happen, if I can help it at all, is to have all of my heroes go at one time at the beginning or the end, either way, because that's going to mean that I have no way to deal with anything that happens later on. So, okay, so the coast and the desert. So in both of those cases, we have a defender there. So I'm going to block the coast first. So the Necromancer is going to take a health, and I'm going to explain this. I'm going to kind of do like Doug does, which I think is a good way to explain like the first couple rounds in detail. And as we go, I'm gonna attempt to, of course, you guys know me, get a little bit less chatty about it, and see what happens. All right, so then in the desert, I'm gonna have the Weaver defend that attack, so we're good. Next is yellow. Okay, yellow. That is going to be the Harpier. I think we're going to have him move here to the ruins. Then we're going to use the ruins ability, which I'm going to read that to you again right quick. Place any one card from the discard pile onto this card slot. At the start of the next round, place the entombed card directly into the discard pile. So we're going to drop, we're going to use a second action to take this card, and we're going to put that here. We're going to entomb that. So that's going to sit there until the beginning of the next round. So basically, this next turn, this third turn that we have to, oh, I just realized I didn't do something. Let's see here. What's the best way to do this? I've got my caravans over here, so I'll just grab them. All right, it's going to be in the forest. So we're going to entomb it, so it can't be used. That means he has one X action. Gosh, I can't say the word. Left. Where should he go? I think he's going to use it to get XP. Yeah, let's do that. All right. Next card is going to be the forest and the coast. Again, wow, the coast is getting hammered. All right, so we can't do anything about the forest. The coast, we're going to let our Necromancer take that hit as well. Yeah. Next is the mountains and the plains. All right, mountains, we do have somebody there, so we're going to defend that. He's going to get an XP for that. Adelphus. No one is in the plains. The plains will increase the threat level. Next is blue. So this is our Necromancer. Now, okay, so this is a good example of what I was talking about earlier. We know that we have not had the plains come up yet. but I'm pretty sure there's one, maybe two cards with the planes. I cannot remember. But XP, leveling our heroes up, will give them additional skills. So, having said that, I think we're going to use the first action, the region action of the coast. It says move any defender to any region. So I'm actually going to take this opportunity to go ahead and move a Delphus, right, from the mountains to that. Now, having said that, I do realize that the mountains have not really been attacked much, and we know there's a number of mountain cards. But I also know that our green Weaver still has their turn to go, and they could move over and drop that threat if necessary. And so far, there's only been one desert card, so I'm not too worried about it. But now there is an extra coast card. So that's going to be an issue, I think. Yeah. So that's one to move him. And then he's going to, I think... He's going to spend the other two actions to gain XP. Well, no. One, two. We're going to move him to the forest for his second action and drop the threat by one. Yeah. Cool. Oh, there you go. Red. So red, that's going to be a Delphus here in the plains. Obviously, he's going to drop that down by one. His abilities, I could move defenders with me, but that's really not going to do much good. He does have 4 actions though, so I think we're going to do 1 to drop the threat, 2 to move here, then I'm going to use 3 to move him back here. I'm going to use the 1 experience he has to move the caravan with him, and then the 4th will be to increase his XP by 1 with a prepare action. Yeah, so that gets the caravan at least a little bit closer. Alright, okay, next is green. So what does green want to do? I think green, this gives me the chance to move to the mountains, so it's going to move to the mountains for 1. Then we're going to drop the threat by 1. That's 2 actions. The third action, I think, is going to be to use the local regional ability, which is meditate. Place your defender on in the circle. When the mountains are attacked, move out of the circle to defend without losing health. Now I'm going to assume, so we're going to do that action. I'm going to assume, since it does say defending in italics, that if I defend, I would still get the XP. Okay, because basically, I mean, realistically, you're basically just trading an action earlier in to guard against that. So, and lastly, oh, there you go. So we have the desert and the mountains. The desert is first. There is nobody there. The mountains is second. The Spellweaver will defend, not lose XP. Excuse me, not lose health, but gain that XP. And that is all the way through the deck. So we flip these over. We take our third Horde card. We also grab a random, and we've got in the ruins a random caravan. We drop it in there. So let's give this a shuffle. Shuffle. Shuffle, shuffle. Alright, and it's going to kind of, alright, like that. So put that there. Beginning of the round, remember we have this tomb card in tomb, so it's going to go here, which is good. Alright, so we already have one in the discard. And then we're going to draw our first card. Okay, it's red again. So, because he has 4 actions, which is awesome, we're going to, and he has 1 XP, we're going to move 1 and use an XP to move the caravan with us. Get the caravan in the city. When we get a caravan in the city, escort a caravan into the capital city, we get to gain 2 XP. So we're going to get 2 XP for that. So that's one action. 2 actions takes us to the plains. And 3 and 4 actions, I'm going to move the experience marker up. So he's up to 4 experience. Alright. It's a good round. Okay. We have the desert where nobody is at, and the mountains. So the desert's going to go up 1. We probably need to get somebody over there soon. The mountains, the Weaver is there. We're going to go ahead and have the Weaver defend 1. Go up 1 XP. Okay, cool. Then we have yellow. Alright, so yellow is the Big Folk Gladiator. So he's going to I think, spend his first action to do the Entomb. And Entomb this card, the mountains and the desert card, just like we did previously with Coast. And then he's going to, that's 1 action, move to the coast because I know that that's coming for 2 actions. And his third action is going to be gain an XP, so he's going to go to 3. Alright. Next we have, the forest and the coast, so that's actually worked out quite well. Forest, yeah. Yeah, we're going to block it with the Necromancer. It's going to take the Necromancer, or the Sullied Human Necromancer, to 3 XP. And then the coast, yeah, we're definitely going to block with him. That's okay. That's cool. Alright, next up is, okay, mountains and the plains. Alright, so remember we do these in order. Mountains. I'm actually going to, because I don't know what dire enemy is out, I'm not going to block in the mountains and let that go up 1. The plains, I am going to block and let 1 XP go up on Adelphos, because we only have 3 cards left. Alright, blue. So that is the Necromancer. Okay. Let's go ahead and move him in to the city and spend the 1 XP to take that caravan with us. So he's going to spend the 1 XP to take it in his first of 3 actions, and then that'll take him to 2 XP. Then he's going to gain 2 XP for turning the caravan in. So that's a total of 4 XP that he has now, and 1 action spent. He's got 2 more actions. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the last 2 actions to go from 4 to 6 on the XP track, just because he's pretty low on health, and that'll get him pretty close to leveling up. Well, but if I had him defend twice, then he could spin it. No, he's going to do 1. That's not going to work out, though. Take that back. We're going to do 1 less XP, and we're going to move him back to the forest to defend there. 1, 2. Actually, he's going to do no XP. Let's just go ahead and drop the forest while we have a chance. Okay, sorry about that. A bit indecisive. Alright, green. Green is in the mountains. Green. So it's got the dual wielder ability, remember? The Weaver. So I can spin, I can spin an XP to reduce 1 threat in your current outer region once per turn. So I'm actually going to do that to drop that to 0. Well, I guess it's not really going to matter in the end. Then I'm going to use one action to move, another action to drop that down. And actually, yeah, then I'm going to use the third action to move back here. And then, because of the dual wielder, oh, no. Oh, because of the defender's ability, that's right. You may spend XP instead of actions to use a region's ability. So then I'm going to spend one more XP to put in the meditative state. Cool. And then, okay, well, now we know. Now we know. So this is the Mimic. This is the dire enemy in the ruins. So what do we have? There's nobody there. Pilfer. Remove any one artifact from the defender with the most artifacts and shuffle it back in the artifact deck. Okay. So, not bad. But now we know that's where he comes out. Nobody has artifacts. But the region does go up by 1. So now everything's getting hit somehow. Lovely. Alright, cool. So that is the first 3 actions. So I'll go ahead and get set up for the next turn. There's the card. So now we have the card here. I'll shuffle that in a second. We have to add one more caravan, and it's going to be the Plains Caravan. Okay. And we do know that this card is going to be discarded, so we'll go ahead and throw that in the discard. We've already added the card here, so let's give it a good quick shuffle. Alright. Alright, just kind of randomly put that in there, and blah, blah, blah. And we'll give it a cut about center. There you go. Ready for the next turn. Round 1, turn 4, I guess. Well, not round. This is the turn deck. Anyway, that will be the end of this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. I am the Board Game Roamer, and I will see you, ladies and gentlemen, in the next video. Bye, guys.